Hi everybody, finding the hottest stocks from around the world. Thanks for your patience. We've got going here. So let's jump into it. Before I begin here, let me just introduce myself. So I'll just move over here, transition my screen here to myself. My name's Russell Markham. I'm the Director of Education for VectorVest Australia. It's my pleasure to present finding the hottest stocks from around the world in just a few minutes a day. Going to make it really simple for you to do. So with that said, let's move over back to the screen here. And before I begin here, VectorVest here is all our licenses. And if you need to see our financial services license here, you can hop along to our website. In addition here, any advice is general advice only and does not consider your personal objectives, financial situations or needs. You should consider whether the advice is suitable for you and your personal circumstances. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Forecasts and back tests used or discussed in this presentation are intended as a guide only. All right, so there are certain factors that may affect it. All right, so without further ado, let's jump into it for today. So what I want to talk about today is I want to go and find some of the best stocks around the world. So we'll start off with Australia, and there are two key things I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be looking for earnings per share. So we know that companies that are growing their earnings have a strong correlation to price performance. And companies that are growing their sales, provided that their earnings are growing as well, it bodes very well for them too. Okay, so let me just bring up a quick example here, and we'll just quickly jump into Australia, and then I'm going to show you exactly how to find this. Now, we all know BHP, or certainly heard of BHP. Okay. And if I go back over time here, I'll make this a nice area graph, and I'll just clean this up over here so it's nice and easy to see for all of us here. Okay, and I'll just change the style here, just make it jump out just a tad more for us. There we are. All right, now all I want you to do is to concentrate on the earnings. You see, as earnings start increasing, share price goes up. Now, if I pull this back over time, sure, it can be a little bit lumpy at times as the market adjusts, but from that point here, earnings started to take off, share price went up. Okay, went up quite a bit. You can see there, if I go all the way back here, $21 odd to well over $40 odd. Let's go back, if we go back just a wee bit prior to that, okay, you see here, the mining slump, earnings were starting to fall away, share price fell. So share price went from, where was it, if you look at the price here, $40 odd, as earnings fell away, all the way down to $15. So during that time period there, it was a difficult time in the market, effectively because of what was taking place. Let's just recalibrate that nice and neatly there. All right, so you see the correlation. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go around the world, and we are going to go and identify all of those top quality companies where the earnings are rising. We certainly don't want what's taking place there. We want something along these lines. Okay. So in VectorVest, we've got this powerful tool. It's really easy once you log into VectorVest. If you want to take out a trial today, do so by all means. To our existing subscribers, of course, you know how to do this. Real quick and easy. Just log into VectorVest each day, click on Viewers, then click on Stock Viewer. Here we are for Australia. What I'm going to do here is I've shown the top 30 stocks. So what we do each and every day is we rank all the stocks with the best combinations of fundamentals and technicals. All right, so we rank them all with the best combinations of fundamentals and technicals at the top of the list, and as the list gets bigger and bigger, the fundamentals and technicals start breaking down. So all the hard work's already been done for you. The top fundamentals and technicals, the top of the list. If I was to do this and show all stocks, so we track over 1,900 currently, then of course you'd see that there are plenty of stocks there to analyze, and as you start getting down to the bottom of the list, the fundamentals and technicals start falling away. All right, so we as investors want to concentrate at the top of the list. So I'll just look at the top 30, and all I'm going to do here is I'm going to graph all top 30, and we're going to make this really easy. We're just going to be simply looking for earnings and sales. All right, so I'm just going to get my special graph layout here for hot topics for the discussion today. Here we go. And I'll pull this back just a tad. I want to see rising earnings and rising sales. We know there's a strong correlation between the rising earnings and we also want to see the sales kicking in. Here I'm not seeing the sales kick in. All right, so move along. I'm going to be very fussy because at the end of the day, it's your hard-earned money. Now, before I continue further, I must stress anything, as we noted earlier, anything that we discuss here is general in nature. It's general advice. I cannot provide personal advice. You need to speak to your financial professionals in terms of whether this is correct for you. Okay, so I'm just purely using the VectorVest tools here to show you. All right, so here we are. PLS jumps out at me. Yes, I can see an uplift in the sales, uplift in the earnings. Good. That's what I'm looking for. All right, next one along here. So see how quick and easy it is to do. VectorVest has put all these up at the top of the list, and then it's just a matter of coming in and cherry picking the ones that jump out to you. All right, moving along. CIA, a bit of a slump in the earnings there, and a little bit of a drop in the sales. So I'll give that a miss. No, it's got to jump out. All right, a little bit of an uptick here, and a little bit of an uptick here, but a slight rolling over. So again, I'd give that one a miss. Aha, this one jumps out. Madder group here. Earnings coming up, sales going up. So I've made a note, PLS, MAD is the ticker codes. Let's keep going. Where are the next ones that jump out? A little bit sort of choppy on the price pattern here. Earnings sort of fell, then came up. Sales were sort of quite choppy. Doesn't jump out. All right, it's got to jump out. Aha. Let's have a look at this one here. GNG, I like this. It's picking up. It is having a little bit of a breather, but the trend is very strong, and I really like the uplift in the sales in recent times. All right, so I'll note that one down. Certainly not SKT. No, not for CAA either. Whitehaven Coal, nope. It's got to jump out. I think it's the code I spoke about before. Is it here GNG, or was it? No, that's a different one. So let's note this one down. Definitely GNG. I'll strike out the previous one. This really jumps out. So PLS, MAD, GNG. All right, that's just how quick and easy it is to do. Keep going a bit more. It's got to jump out. Aha, this one's not too bad. NTD, it's pretty good. What was the one before there too? Yeah, I thought that wasn't too bad. A little bit more aggressive, but I like the fact that the sales are coming up in a strong manner as well as the earnings. So I'm going to jot that one down as well. OFX. Okay, let's see if we can find one lucky last one here. I'll keep going a bit more. It's really got to jump out. Keep going a bit more. And we're going to get another one. You get plenty of good ones here, but you can be fussy. I like that one. Karoon Gas, really good uplift in those earnings at the moment and a big uplift on the sales. So those are the ones that I like there. Okay, so once I've shortlisted it down, what I'll do is I'll create a watch list. So in VectorVest, we enable you can set it up. You just simply create a new group, give it a name, and then once you've created that group, you can create a list, a watch list within that group. So again, you then just simply create a watch list once you've created the group. And in this particular case, just to speed things up for today, I've just called it, finding hot stocks from around the world. So this is for Australia. We're logged into VectorVest Australia, and it's just simply a matter of me just populating those stocks. So I'm going to put them in, the ones that we had noted today. All right, so OFX was one. I'm putting in .AX to let VectorVest know this is for Australia. All right, so here we are. Here they all are. Let's just make this nice and neat. And here are all those stocks. Okay. A real powerful feature now as I come down to the bottom of that list that I've just set up. So come down to the bottom here, the watch list average, and I right click and I view the watch list average graph. Okay, so this is the average of all those stocks. And again, look at that. Beautiful set of earnings, great sales taking place. All right, so there are my earnings, there are my sales. Look at the correlation between earnings and price. And we're having it backed up with a strong set of sales. There we are. We've just put together some pretty powerful stocks from a fundamental and technical perspective. And then one last check and balance that I like to do. You don't have to do this. This is just an extra. I like to have a look at the net profit margin. So for every $1 of sales, I'll just change the style, just make it jump out just a tad more here for you. For every $1 of sales, what is this company making in terms of profit on average? So at the moment it's doing around about 40, the collective group of all these stocks. For every $1 of sales, it's taking in about 40 odd cents in profit. Now, I don't know about you, but if I have a portfolio of stocks like this, certainly I want those sales to continue growing, because for every additional dollar of sales, they're going to make an additional 40% in profit. So, bring in the hundreds of millions of dollars of sales. So this is in millions, 252 million, bringing in just over 40% profit. That is phenomenal. And that is no surprise as why those earnings are growing. So there you go. You have just put together a powerful set of fundamental and technicals being that these stocks are rising in price. All right, so that was Australia. Now, you might say, well, hang on, Russell, you mentioned that this is going to be from around the world. Where exactly do I find additional stocks from around the world? So what we do at VectorVest here each and every day, when you log into VectorVest, you can access to these given countries. So let me just do this. So before you fire it up, it'll ask you want to find stocks in the US, Canada, Europe, UK, or Australia. We've just done the analysis for Australia. So what we could do next is we could go to UK, for example, right? So click on the UK, log in, and I get access. Now to speed it up, I've done it already for you. So let's do this. Let's go to the UK. All right, so here we are. Same deal. I've just clicked on my viewers tab, and I've gone to my stock viewer, and I do the exact same deal that I've just done for Australia. So I can say graph all. I've selected the top 20, for example, and away you go. I've sped this up so we don't have to go through the whole process again. But again, same deal. I've put on my earnings in pounds this time, of course, and sales, and I'm looking for those correlations. Find me excellent earnings along with uplifts in sales. So, for example, here's one that jumps out, FCIT, F&C Investment Trust. Straight away, I'm able to access stocks from around the world using this very simple but incredibly powerful way of scanning. Right, here's one, BlackRock. You can see a big uplift in sales, sliding a little bit to the downside, but sales are certainly holding steady. Doesn't quite jump out at me. JP Morgan here, big uplift in the earnings, just sort of plateauing a bit, but also a big uplift in sales. It's not too bad a one there. Right, so you can see just how quick and easy it is to do. You can pick out the ones that jump out at you. Now, SQZ, Serica Energy, no, look, the earnings are starting to slide, so one just needs to pay attention to that. All right, nice uplift in the earnings, powering on. This really jumps out at me. Look at that correlation, rising earnings, rising share price, and the sales are holding steady. So to speed things up, what I've done is I've already generated the watch list for you. Okay, so here we are. Here's the watch list. And these are the ones that jumped out at me. All right, so a few of these we've already looked at. All right, here they all are. If I come down to the bottom of the watch list, right click, view the watch list average. All right, there we are. There's our rising earnings. There's our rising sales. And let's put on net profit margin for good measure. Let's just change the style, make it jump out a tad more here. And there we are. Look at that. Whoa, 60%. At the moment across those companies. So they are making a lot of money at the moment, and it's no surprises to see the average of that share price going up so nicely. All right, so huge margins on offer at the moment, a great uplift in the sales, a great uplift in the earnings. You can pull it back over time and see how that's stacked up. So you can see there must have been quite a bit of pent-up demand from the coronavirus lockdowns, and earnings have rocketed back up along with sales, and that bodes very well for that current time period there. All right, so there is the UK. All right, so same methodology. So you might want to jot some of these down and see what you think. How do they stack up? How do you like the look of those ones there? All right, so we've covered the UK, and we've covered Australia. Let's keep with the European thing and go to Europe. So log into VectorVest Europe as all part of your access to VectorVest. Here we go. Same deal again. We're going to go and find the best stocks in Europe. So all the best fundamentals and technicals are at the top of the list. So here they all are. And we now just begin our analysis. So I'll keep it at the top 20 and I'll graph all. And away we go again. All right, so here we go. These are earnings and our sales. I like to set it back at least a year, and I like to see those uplifts. So look at this one here. Bank of Ireland really jumps out in terms of its price powering up. Earnings have gone up, but they've plateaued slightly, so I'm not all that enthusiastic, but it's not bad nonetheless. Sales are coming up nicely, which is encouraging. Now you see here, NN.AS, NN Group, NV, insurance company. Earnings are coming up. Look at that. See the trend of those earnings are powering up. That to me is pleasing to see. I like the fact that sales, they were in a bit of a slump and they're starting to turn around. So there we are. It's starting to do exactly what I want it to do, what I'm looking for, an increase in sales, and those earnings are picking up. So that would be one, for example, that would make my shortlist. And it's just a matter of going through them and picking them out, right? So there needs to be ones that jump out. Look at this one here, Royal Dutch Shell. Look at this. Look at the earnings. There's a big uplift in the earnings there, and a big uplift in the sales. So, you know, from a short-term perspective here, how long this lasts, I don't know, but certainly the trend has been fairly steady, and you're getting that big uplift taking place. That is one that would certainly jump out at me to go into a watch list. So it's a matter of just going through and picking out the ones that jump out at you. All right, so let's do this again. Here we go. So I've put a few in here, and we saw Royal Dutch Shell in recent times has just had that uplift. So let's drop that one in. Was that the one we just looked at? Let's just double check. Graph that selected stocks. You can see all the great functionality you have in VectorVest here. Yep, that was the one. There we are. And here are all those ones there. So Bank of Ireland, Royal Dutch Shell, ZUC ticker code. I'll say that so I don't pronounce it incorrectly. You know, a cell group there, you know, you name it, here they all are. These are ones that jump out, that meet that criteria. Let's come down to the bottom here, right click. Let's view the watch list average. And wow, look at that. So this is Europe. Look at the earnings trend here. You know, thanks to Royal Dutch Shell and a few others. Look at the massive uplift there in sales kicking off. This is pretty exciting from a watch list generation perspective. All right, so we've identified some of the hottest stocks. Currently, certainly doing what we want them to do and going up nicely in price. So there we are. There are some of the hottest stocks from Europe. So we've found the hottest stocks, some of the hottest stocks in UK, Europe, Australia. Let's continue our global journey. Who should we pick on next? Canada. Let's pick on Canada, and we'll leave the US to last. All right. Yep, and we'll just close out of there. All right. Okay, so let's do this. We're now in Canada. Same deal again. Let's come in here and graph. We've got 20, so we'll graph the top 20. All right, so we go. Top 20, or you can click graph selected if you select them. So here we go. We'll graph the top 20. Let's bring that across. And here we go. Same analysis again. All right. Where are the ones that are jumping out at you? So ARX, look at that. Earnings, sales. Sales a little bit of it's trending down slightly there. So you do want to zoom in and look. It looks pretty good, but I'll just wait for those earnings to come back up again. All right, so no, that wouldn't make my short list. Neither with this. You can see that the trend is coming down. Encouraging because the sales are picking up. So the sales are offsetting the decline in earnings, but why not have the best of all worlds? Let's have both going up. OBE, look at that. So not only are the sales going up, but the earnings are going up, and it's turning a corner. Right? It's going from negative earnings to positive earnings, and that's what I'd like to see. That's an explosive type strategy, a bit more aggressive, but where that turning point is occurring. All right, keep going a bit more. Not too bad. They're holding steady. Earnings coming up, sales coming up, so that one's not too bad. All right, so again, you go through the list, pick out the ones that jump out at you. Look at this, an uptick in the earnings for this one here, TOU ticker code. That's what I like to see. I like to see an uplift, the next wave of earnings about potentially to unleash. All right, so there you are. So look how easy that is to find those, because VectorVest has done, like I noted, all the hard work for you. It's ranked the best combinations of fundamentals and technicals at the top of that list. And that's what it's about, making it easy for you. All right, so again, just to speed things up, watch this viewer. And here we are. Here they are for Canada. And if I right-click, view the watch list average graph and bring that up, there we go. Look at that. Nice set of earnings, sales coming up. Okay, let's jump into the US. And once we've done the US, I will then show you another way where you can identify some of the hottest stocks from around the world using VectorVest to make it very easy. Okay, so same deal again for the US, and let's just graph, say, the top 20. Here we go. I'll just select top 20, and we'll fire that up. And let's just make this nice and easy to see. We'll turn off some of these indicators here. And again, let's identify some of those standout performers. All right, so just a matter of scrolling through. You want the best of both worlds, so plenty of good ones here. Let's see if we can find one that really jumps out. Aha, look at that. Was that the same one that was listed in Canada, OBE? Look at that, look at that. So great set of rising earnings and sales. Wow, look at this one here, Skyline Corp. Look at this, look at the earnings. Up it goes, up go the sales again. That is looking positive, right? Keep scrolling through. Look at that, a great set of rising earnings again. Sales holding steady. Okay, so look how easy, quick and easy that is to find using the power of VectorVest each and every day. I like that. Uptick in earnings, sales picking up. Here's another one that jumps out, Schwab. There we go. All right, so it's shortlisted. So I've done it already for us today, just to highlight a few. So let's just bring that open there for you to see. There's Skyline Corp, the one we saw earlier. Here are a few that jump out. Let's look at the average of all those stocks. Nice, right? Uptick in earnings, uptick in sales. All right. The net profit margin, these ones here are 12 cents in the dollar. All right, but bearing in mind, look at that, that's in millions. So if I go back there, what's that? 100. What's that? I couldn't read 1,392. No, 13,928 million in sales, of which they're making about 12.5% profit. That's across all those companies. So some serious money being made across those companies on average. Just going back to what we covered earlier too. I'm not sure if I showed you the net profit margin for Europe. So let's just make sure that I also show you the net profit margin on Europe. So Europe's one was 5% and climbing, but I like the trend. The trend is coming up. The sales are huge, right? 38,495 million. If you're making 5% profit on those sales, that's huge numbers. All right, and let's see. In the next one here, we'll have a look. Did I show you UK? I'll just double check. I've showed you the UK. I think that was phenomenal. That was the 60-odd%. That's right. We'd cover that. Okay, so I like to drill into the net profit margin, drill into the sales, drill into those earnings. Now, let's go back to Australia and let's show you another way you can find some of these hot stocks. So we found this way. Let's just have a quick recap of what we did again. So here's Australia again. Let's bring it up one last time here. All right, and let's bring on our earnings. So here are our earnings. Our earnings are a little bit flatter compared to some of the other stocks from around the world, but it's consolidating very nicely at the moment. And our sales are trending up, which is great to see. And our net profit, remember, they're at 40-odd%. Very, very nice. How else can we identify these stocks? Here's another great way. So what we do each and every day is we track several portfolios in VectorVest. These are not funds under management. You can't call up VectorVest to say, can you please manage my money for me? Certainly not. We're not fund managers, but we give you the tools so you effectively can make the right calls. All right, so one of the tools that we provide in VectorVest here is the model portfolios. We track several model portfolios each and every day, and it's up to you as to whether you choose to follow this. You can build and modify your very own portfolios and track them. So here's what you can do. Each and every day, you can log into VectorVest. You've got a mobile phone app. It does a brilliant job on the mobile phone app as well. And you can track everything. So here I'm going to come into VectorVest and say, okay, show us some of your portfolios. Oh, look at this one here, 10 stock model portfolio. Wow, look at these Look at the equity curve. Very interesting. And I don't know why it keeps popping up. I'm sorry about that. And effectively, what I can do then is I can get some ideas. So I can come in and go, oh, okay, QRI, SSG, and VLS. Yes, these are performing very nicely. And as such, these might warrant some further investigation. This is currently what is made up of this portfolio currently. You can see it's done very well. So here are some ideas. I could come into here and have a look at the next one here and see how this is trending and look at some of the stocks being held in here. So what I like to do, so for example, if I go to the growth portfolio, I like to look at the ROI, return on investment. Show me some of the best performing stocks right now that are making up this great looking equity curve. And so I get ideas. Oh, there's AFI, it's done pretty well, and CDD, and this one here, 38, Michael Hill, and Tassel Group at 26. So I get some great ideas on stocks each and every day. The income portfolio has really been a star performer over the years. So I can have a look currently. Here's one, Grange Resources up 12% since it was purchased, and Platinum PMC. This holds most of these portfolios hold up to 10 stocks, between 5 and 10 stocks. So you can see as the market pulled back, they have reduced their holdings because we use all sorts of rules, including market timing. Okay, so there I get some great ideas. So it doesn't end there because, well, that's the Australia ideas. And again, off I go again. So the UK, I can click on the UK portfolio tab and I could look at, so for example, model portfolio 1. Wow, great looking equity curve over the years. And here are some ideas in terms of what's being held. If I move over to Europe, portfolios, this one jumped out at me this morning. I looked there and went, wow, look at that equity curve in this one here. And here are some ideas on the stocks being held there. And if I move over to the US, let's jump into the US. Let's click on the US here and click on the portfolios. And here's a portfolio that they're tracking currently, the team. Wow, look at this. Look at the equity curve. And so what I can then do is I can come up here and look at what's taking place. There is one other place you can do it too. So if I come into viewers, and in here I can come up to the top here and I can go to Trading System Viewer. The Trading System Viewer is incredibly powerful in the US because it will give you a great set of portfolios each and every day, and you can see which ones are performing the best. So if I click on 1 month, I can say, okay, look at this one here. This one here has performed the best over the last month. It's showing me the money short. It's using a shorting strategy. If I'm not comfortable shorting, I'll say, well, hang on, I won't look at a short one just yet. And then I'll have a look here and go, okay, these are shorting strategies. Let's have a look. These are all shorting. So the shorts have really done well. This one here, double check which one do I want to really perform well from a conservative perspective. So you can see it's aggressive, but let's just say you did want to go on a shorting strategy. Click on Trading System Details, and from here, what's really useful here on the Trading System Details is that I can effectively now look at the return, short-term return. Here it is, and I can come in here and I can effectively look at the current holdings. All right, let's get some great ideas. Okay, if I'm not aggressive, I'm say more prudent. So conservative, let's say prudent. All right, so let's look over a longer term, so over 1 year. So the shorting strategies are doing well because they're designed to go down as the market goes down. But if I'm more prudent, here we are. So over the last year, this one's done 28%. Trading System Details, have a bit more of a look. And I can bring that up. All right, there we are. It's more of a prudent performer. Here we can see the metrics over the times. And then I can see, okay, get some ideas. Oh, well, no, nothing there that really jumps out. Yes, the returns have done very well over the last couple of years. But right now, no, that doesn't give me too many ideas just yet. I'll keep an eye on it. Let's have a look at this one here. And you go, oh, yes, okay. So there's a fair few in here. So here we go. We can then scroll through these and look at them. Okay, so that's how you find the hot stocks from around the world. you use VectorVest. So when you click on VectorVest to log in each and every day, you can take it a trial for $9.95 USD for 30 days. Test it out. Put your set up username, password, and away you go. And you just simply click on the country that you want to identify some of those great stocks from around the world. So quick and easy to do. So what I'll do here in closing here, I'll bring up the slides here. Just here, if you want to find out more, www.vectorvest.com.au/trial. So all you have to do effectively is just hop along to our VectorVest website. So if I type in, you just put in vectorvest.com, for example. In Australia, it will default to .com.au. Here it is, and you can then click on risk-free trial. So away you go, click on the risk-free trial, and it'll then ask you to put in your given details to take it a trial. Right, so $9.95, 30 days. Right, you get to analyze over 16,000 stocks and ETFs from around the world each and every day. So that's how you do it. Now, so www.vectorvest.com. In Australia, it will go to our default page for Australia. So I'll just leave you with this. Here are a few that I've just taken some screenshots for. All right, so remember what we're looking for here. We are looking for those sales increasing and those earnings increasing. All right, so just a few examples. Here's Tyson Foods in the US, for example. Look at that correlation again. OBE in Canada. Look at that correlation there. All right, nice little uptick coming up again here. In Europe for that one there, RDSA ticker code, FCIT ticker code in the UK. This is probably not perfectly ideal. There will be better ones to find, because I am just seeing just a slight softening on the earnings, but nonetheless, it's still a very nice correlation in those rising sales and earnings. All right, so the last thing I'll leave you with there, if you want to take it a trial, you'll get up to 30 minutes free training by one of our Melbourne-based consultants. You get invited to our monthly online VectorVest investment gatherings. There's some phenomenal material that is covered each and every day there, a month there at those meetings, and we get plenty of great ideas being shared each month. Access to our weekly videos and essays, and access to all our portfolios that we track each day in VectorVest. So I'll leave it to there. I'll go back and just leave that slide there, www.vectorvest.com.au/trial. Hope you got a lot out of it. I hope you really see just how quick and easy it is to find those great stocks from around the world. My name is Russell Markham. I'm the Director of Education for VectorVest Australia. There we are. I should pop back up. Thank you for coming along today. I hope you got a lot out of it. Don't forget, next week, keep a lookout on YouTube. We have got another great talk coming up. All right, so make sure you tune in. Let's just double check which one is it going to be. It's the Warren Buffett stocks. Just double checking our wall planner there. Yes, Warren Buffett stocks for next week. So if you like what you saw today, wait till you see the Warren Buffett stocks. Phenomenal stuff. All right, so I'll transpose it onto this slide back onto here so you can see the link there. All right, well, have a great morning. Thank you for your attention today. I hope you got a lot out of it. Until next week, bye for now.